What if Rome had fallen to Vercingetorix? We often ponder Hannibal crossing the Alps, his elephants a terrifying specter at the gates of the Eternal City. But what about the threat from the north? What if a charismatic Gallic chieftain had succeeded where the Carthaginian general failed? This isn't just idle speculation, it was a terrifyingly real possibility. In the heart of the 1st century BCE, two extraordinary men stood on opposite sides of a bloody divide. One was a Roman patrician, a political genius with an insatiable hunger for glory. He saw Gaul not just as a land to be conquered, but as a stepping stone to absolute power in Rome. On the other side stood Vercingetorix. His name, a title meaning great warrior king, perfectly encapsulated his destiny. He possessed a fiery spirit and a vision that few of his contemporaries could grasp. A free and united Gaul, liberated from the tightening grip of the Roman eagle. In the middle of the 1st century BCE, Gaul was not a single unified country. It was a complex mosaic of over 60 distinct tribes. These internal squabbles were the region's greatest weakness. For centuries, they had fought amongst themselves, forming and breaking alliances with bewildering speed. When Julius Caesar arrived in 58 BCE, he didn't find a united front. He found a fractured land, a powder keg of resentments and jealousies just waiting for a spark. And Caesar was more than happy to provide it. The rebellion began in the winter of 52 BCE. It was a brutal, desperate act. At Cenabum, modern-day Orleans, Gallic warriors massacred Roman merchants who had settled there. The news, according to Caesar, was passed across the countryside by a network of shouting men covering nearly 160 miles in a single day. Vercingetorix, a young nobleman from the Arverni tribe, seized the moment. He tried to rally his own people, but the established tribal elders, wary of Roman power, cast him out of their capital, Gergovia. Undeterred, he went to the countryside, gathering a loyal army of the poor and dispossessed, men who had nothing left to lose. His strategy was bold and utterly ruthless. He initiated a scorched earth policy, convincing his own people to burn their towns, their farms, and their grain stores to deny the Romans any supplies. At the town of Avaricum, the local Protagonists tribe begged Vercingetorix to spare their home. He reluctantly agreed, a decision he would come to regret. Caesar besieged the town, and after a month of brutal fighting, stormed the walls. Vercingetorix's strategy of avoiding direct confrontation paid off spectacularly at the Battle of Gergovia. Caesar attempted to take the heavily fortified town by storm. The Roman assault faltered, becoming a chaotic and confused scramble. The legions were thrown back with heavy losses, including 46 centurions. For the first time in the Gallic Wars, Caesar had suffered a clear and humiliating personal defeat. The news of Gergovia spread like wildfire, electrifying the whole of Gaul. Even the Aedui, Rome's oldest and most steadfast allies in Gaul, abandoned Caesar and joined the rebellion. Vercingetorix was now at the peak of his power, the undisputed commander of a nearly united nation in arms. Yet in this moment of triumph, Vercingetorix made a critical error. After a disastrous cavalry battle, he was forced to withdraw his massive army of 80,000 warriors to the fortified town of Alesia. Caesar saw his chance to end the war. He ordered his men to build a massive wall of fortifications around the entire town, an 11-mile ring of trenches, towers, and traps to starve the defenders into submission. But Caesar knew a Gallic relief army was coming, so he did something truly audacious. He ordered his legions to build a second, even larger wall facing outwards. His army was now trapped in the middle, besieging Alesia, while simultaneously being besieged themselves. Soon, a massive Gallic relief force, perhaps 250,000 strong, arrived and attacked the outer Roman wall. Vercingetorix launched a simultaneous attack from the inside. The Romans were fighting a desperate battle on two fronts. Inside Alesia, starvation had taken hold. Vercingetorix faced an impossible choice. According to Plutarch, he donned his finest armor, mounted his war horse, and rode out of the gates of Alesia. He circled Caesar's command post before dismounting, throwing his weapons at the Roman general's feet and kneeling in silent submission. The great Gallic rebellion was over. He was taken to Rome in chains and thrown into the grim Tullianum prison. There he languished for nearly 6 years, kept alive for one purpose only, to be paraded through the streets of Rome as the centerpiece of Caesar's magnificent Gallic triumph, then taken back to his cell and unceremoniously strangled. In the 19th century, as France grappled with its own national identity, the figure of the brave Gallic chieftain was reborn. He was resurrected as France's first national hero, a symbol of resistance against a powerful foreign invader. Today, Vercingetorix stands as a testament that history is written by the victors, but not forever. He was a brilliant, charismatic leader who came tantalizingly close to halting the Roman war machine and changing the course of history. His untold epic is not just a story of what happened, but a poignant and enduring tale of what might have been.